Hey, how are you doing, girl? So good that thank you that you were able to spend some time with me, and we get this time to connect one on one, mano y mano, hand to hand. That doesn't make any sense. Face to face. Well, maybe that makes a little bit more sense. I just want to say I will, first of all, today is the 30th of June, 2019, and I guess it's the last day of June. Are there 31 days in June, or are there just one? Ah, that's right. There's just 30 days in June. So the last day of June. Wow, 2019. This is your birth month, June, back in 2004. So it's the 15th anniversary of your birth month. Amazing. And it's the end of the month. Wow, pretty phenomenal. And we're going to be starting July soon. There's going to be July 4th. That's a holiday happening very, very soon. There's going to be fireworks all over. There's actually has been a lot of fireworks already in Lompoc. I really feel sorry for all of the animals, like the dogs. The dogs in particular. I know that they're very sensitive to those sounds. And yet fireworks just continuously go on during the nighttime. Oh, so sad. This is so tragic. Me, I'm not really a big fan of fireworks. As a safety guy, as a person who's interested in the safety and welfare of everybody, fireworks isn't really something I like very much having around. But certainly not, around with people who use them who are untrained. I know. But hey, apparently some people love fireworks, and that's great. More power to them. I'm glad they're getting some enjoyment from them. I like seeing fireworks from a distance. Like, I really like seeing fireworks that amusement parks put on, those fireworks shows, like, say, at Disneyland. And I like the fireworks that the cities put on, like the city of Santa Barbara, the city of Lompoc. Those are pretty amazing shows. Love that stuff. These are shows done by professionals using safety protocols, using technology, and everything at their disposal to orchestrate an amazing show. That's the good stuff right there. These one-off fireworks, like here or there, or random, or by randomly occurring random people, it's like I'm not sure I like that very much. So anyway, 4th of July is coming, and that's pretty cool. I wanted to mention that yesterday was a pretty amazing day. I was invited by a friend of mine, Tara Trujillo, to go to a play at the Solvang Festival Theater in Solvang. And we did, and we had a blast. We had such a good time together. We went to go see a play called, what was it? Oh man, it was something like A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. I think that's what it was called. And it was really good. I really enjoyed. The actors in particular were amazing. The costumes were amazing. Boy, first of all, these actors, what a riot! What an amazing job that they have to sort of just play in front of an audience and do so with just such abandon, right? And just play on tropes and stereotypes and just have a bunch of fun in costume where everyone's laughing. I mean, what a blast. What an amazing life that would be. Sometimes I imagine what it would be like to be an actor, and I think there's a lot of reasons to suggest that it would be a lot of fun, that it would be a blast. Of course, there are a lot of reasons to suggest it may be. I'm sure sometimes it's kind of a drag and a problem and a bore and ridiculous. Um, but you know what? That's true with everything. Yeah. So anyway, I really admire these actors and actresses. They really put together an amazing show last night. And Tara and I and our friends, and in fact the entire audience, I'm sure, really appreciate and we're overjoyed with all the work that they put into the play. It really was pretty amazing, and it was a lot of fun. What a romp! What a romp! And I must say, I did not necessarily care for all the killing. I tend to be a peacenik, I tend to be so I remember it was about murder, and it was a comedy, right? And I had a hard time like clapping after the murders happened. I was like, what is this? Who's doing that? I actually didn't. But anyway, what a funny show. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take away some memories about the costumes in particular. They were great. There were some amazing dresses and clothing for the men, pants and things like that. Wouldn't it be neat to be like a costume designer or a costume creator for plays? I mean, just continuously working on these amazing garments. Oh wow, how much fun is that? So one of the wonderful things about going to a play is I get to visit with friends that I didn't anticipate being there. I got to see Brie Bliss Held, which is a Dan Streiber friend of mine, and another man, Jeffrey Hale, who just happened to be walking by. We saw them on the sidewalk, and I was so pleased to see them. They're just such beautiful people. It's great to have friends who are so good looking. It's like, wow, these are good looking people. I can't believe I know them. Really, both Brie Bliss and Jeffrey Hale, they really ought to be models, like on the cover of like Santa Barbara magazine or something. They're just so beautiful. It's such a pleasure to see them. Oh, such beauty, not only beauty on the outside, but beauty on the inside. These are two amazing people who I'm proud to call friends. And so nice to see them and just visit with them for a while. They were just walking around. They were entertaining the thought of possibly going to the theater and seeing a show, but I think they may have decided to go just have dinner at some restaurant otherwise. So anyway, so nice to see them. I also saw a coworker of mine named Pat, and that was just a pleasure to see him. What a funny guy. A guy who I admire very much. Really the pinnacle of admiration for this guy. This is a man who's got it together, and he has almost got it together as much as I do. No, actually, I have a feeling he's got it together a lot more than I do. But he is really an awesome dude who I enjoy seeing. He goes to the gym on a regular basis. This coworker of mine named Pat, and he's a swimmer and a bicyclist, and I don't know, he's just amazing. But what's great about the Solvang Festival Theater is it's just beautiful. It's like picturesque. It's an outdoor theater, and so you've got this nice like amphitheater seating situation where everyone can see everything. And I loved during the intermission walking with Tara along the just sort of like the inner courtyard where there were stringed lights and lanterns. It was nice. It was nighttime, and it was just a beautiful night. Tara and I also had a chance to walk around Solvang downtown just before the play started, and we got some chocolate. We went to the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, and we picked up some chocolate. I actually got a Reese's peanut butter cup confection, and she got an English toffee, like a dark chocolate English toffee confection. Pretty amazing desserts. I really enjoy having the opportunity to have desserts every once in a while. I actually do control my diet pretty strongly, but there are times when I decide to live it up a little bit and relax. The fact that's perfectly fine because, the fact is, most of my dietary control is about making my body as healthy as possible. And the fact is, in my view, I am super duper healthy. Like, if there was a teacher giving grades as to the healthiest kid in class, I'm pretty certain I'd get an A. Like, in terms of like classroom grades, I might even get an A plus. I'm doing so well. So naturally, that means I get a chance to splurge every once in a while and enjoy this was like a huge giant peanut butter cup. It was giant. I mean, it was huge. It was like a sandwich made of peanut butter and chocolate. Oh yeah. So that's good stuff. And it's funny. I think we all like to joke about chocolate and how bad it is for us. But you know what? It's not that bad. I mean, it's okay. First of all, it's got a ton of calories in it, and a lot of sugar. So granted, it's got that stuff, but it's got other stuff too. Chocolate, particularly dark chocolate, is very high in antioxidants. It's got polyphenols and catechins and all these amazing things in it. I think it's high in vitamin and zinc, and that's good for your body. I know that there are some who believe that chocolate is a superfood. Cocoa as a superfood. Totally. I think it's got a high ORAC score, ORAC. That's like oxidation reduction something count, something like that. It's got a pretty high ORAC score, so it's got a lot of antioxidants in it. And then I hear all this stuff about chocolate affecting neurotransmitters in good ways, like serotonin and stuff like that. I know. What's there's a stimulant in chocolate. I believe it's called theobromine. And then I hear that chocolate has caffeine in it. I'm not sure about that caffeine part. I hear a lot of people say that there's caffeine in chocolate. There may very well be caffeine in chocolate. I don't count myself as being one of the most learned individuals on what's in chocolate, but I think theobromine is in there, and that's a kind of stimulant for the human body. But thankfully, it's not so stimulating that it prevents me from sleeping at night. So that's really good. So I think chocolate is nice to have every once in a while. I think it's important for me anyway. For me, I get this real sense, this real feeling that, this is a treat, right? And it's something that's sort of indulgent and enjoyable. And I don't know, can't beat it sometimes. And sometimes you just need to take the psychological pressure off. Take a break every once in a while. Stop and smell the flowers. That's what, sometimes you just got to smell the flowers. Life's short. And, eat your chocolate. Eat chocolate. Life's short. Eat chocolate. Because none of us knows how long we're going to be here on this planet. None of us knows if we're going to live till tomorrow. Who knows? I could get in a car accident today and that would be the end of it. Snuff out my life. What are the chances of that happening? Those chances are real. They are real. They're real. In fact, today I'm going to be going on a road trip. Oh, yeah. So I'm excited about that. I wanted to mention that of all the amazing things that happened to me and how excited I am about everything that's going on and that's new in the world, I just want to tell you, Emily, that in my mind, you are the crowning jewel of my life. I really do believe that. I am so pleased that you're in it. I'm so pleased that you and I have the relationship that we do. I am grateful for every moment that I spend thinking about you and your welfare and enhancing your well-being. And I'm just so glad that you're a part of my life. And it is an essential part of my life, real, tangible part of my life. And I just want to let you know about how committed I am to us as a father-daughter pair, and how focused I am on doing what I can in limited ways. It's understandable, but in the limited way, do what I can to enhance your well-being, to help you live the best life ever, to help you at least help enable you to live a life of wonder and amazement. And I want to make your life more magnificent. Now, of course, that a lot of that is up to you. For me, it's my role is merely an enabling one. I recognize that. So for me, it's about offering you invitations, welcoming you into my life, and sort of allowing you to make the choices that you choose, because I am an absolute respecter of your freedom to choose. In fact, I am an advocate of your autonomy, and I completely want to see your will be sort of an expression of your own judgment and thinking, as you live out your life and it unfolds. And that's a really important part of my stance. It's sort of facilitating and enabling your independence. It's very much about me being a bystander while I observe and encourage, right? And sort of be an enthusiastic cheerleader of what I see you're doing, and maybe I can help you give words and expression to what you're doing. Maybe I can help you enjoy and appreciate what you're doing as you grow in a more full way. And or maybe not. Um, though what I'll do my best is to make the offers that I can make in ways that are most calibrated to your needs and desires and wants and all that good stuff. So anyway, with that, we can go back to my travels. I mentioned today that I was going to go on a road trip, and indeed I am. I'm going to be traveling to Santa Cruz and to San Jose, just a few hours away. But I'm excited about, I don't know, visiting new places and meeting new people. Totally excited about that. In fact, I hope to go to Six Flags Great America, maybe even today. Maybe not today. The question is, how much energy do I have? How much mental and physical energy do I have? I'm not sure I have that much right now. But I just want to say just how grateful I am to live the life I do. It's really an outstanding life, an amazing life. Every day I'm confronted with amazing opportunities that just blow me away when I consider them. And I've got to almost think them a second time to sort of appreciate just how amazing what's going on is. In fact, I'm in complete awe. In fact, there's a part of me in the back of my brain that says, hold off, Miguel. You don't know how long this is going to last. I know, but I just can't help myself. I can't contain the utter joy and wonder of every moment that happens. I mean, yesterday was a really perfect example. I had a phenomenal night. I mean, flipping night. I had a fantastic time. It was just so brilliant in so many ways. And to think that today I get the same chance to blow my own socks off when it comes to, all the things that come together in life. I know, it's a miracle. Every moment is a miracle. I just can't believe it. And I'm so grateful to life for just confronting me with all this amazingness. I mean, just what is it all about? How can it be? How can it be that life is so good to me? Now, I must admit that I take some role in it. Some small role. It's really quite a small role. It's about being responsible for the things that I have, maintaining and managing things, reducing risk as much as I can, financial risk, physical risk, social risk, emotional risk. But then it's also about taking calculated risks, right? Sometimes you just got to try. That's the thing about life, Em. Sometimes you just got to try. Sometimes you just got to get up and walk on over to the things that you want and say a few words. They may not even be choice words. They may not be a choice selection of phrases. But sometimes in a way, it's just blurting. I have a friend on the internet. She's a YouTuber. And she's got this technique called blurting, where she will it's a method of studying for her classes. And she'll just blurt, whatever it is she thinks she knows about a certain subject. And she does this in preparation for a test. Amazing. What a wonderful idea. But you know what? I think blurting can be used in a lot of ways. You can blurt to your friends about how much you love them. You can blurt to your lovers about the gift that they are in your life. You can even blurt to yourself about just how amazing you think your life is. That's what I think I'm all about that. I'm all about the blurting. Just say it. I think people get too caught up in words somehow. They think that they've got to say the right thing to the right person at the right time. And that, if they're measured, things will work out in the end. But, that doesn't always happen. So I just want to, I think it's important for people just to not get hooked on verbals, right? On so much the how. Sometimes it's just that, it's that you said it. It's not how you said it. Well, a lot of the time it's how you say it, granted. Probably 80% of the time it's about how you say it. But 20% of the time, if you can blurt it out, things will work out okay. So maybe I've got that little piece of advice for you, Emily. Fatherly advice for you. And that is, allow yourself to blurt stuff out sometimes. Sometimes it's just important. It's essential sometimes just to say what's on your mind. And not keep yourself so hidden. Here's the thing about people who lock themselves up into castles. They spend a lot of time by themselves alone. Hey, and I get it. Locking yourself up in a castle is Well, there's no better way to feel safe. Um, at least in the short term. In the long term, however, um, that's really a wonderful way in order to increase your vulnerability because you actually need other people to challenge you and to learn from, you know. Anyway, it's not the best idea in the long term to hold up in a castle for a long, long time. Anyway, let's see what else is going on with me. Um, I am I'm really on this fruit kick. I am loving the fruit that I'm eating, and I'm eating a lot of fruit lately. I'm eating for breakfast today. I had 2 bananas and 2 oranges, and I had some other stuff. But I think the most enjoyable part of my breakfast today were the bananas and apples, particularly the apples. Golly, there's just something about apples. They're just drawing, I'm just drawn to them magnetically now. And I'm really hoping that somewhere I find a farm or an orchard on my way to San Jose today where I can enjoy and pick some apples. Although it's still a little bit early. Apples, I don't think really start getting ready to be picked until August. So it's only July. I got 30 days. This is like a 30-day countdown to apple time. And I really do need to sort of find locations like farms and orchards where I can go pick some apples because I'm going to be all about the apples this year. I'm going to get I'll probably end up getting boxes and boxes of them. I'm still looking for this Bramley apple. Bramley apples are found mostly grown in the UK, and I have a lot of wonderful memories about me eating Bramley apples because there was a Bramley apple tree in Taos, New Mexico, where I grew up, and so I'm still seeking out the Bramley apples. One of these days, I'll find a source for those apples. Hopefully, I'll find a source this year, this autumn season. Anyway, so that's cool. Emily, I wanted to ask you, if there was any chance that perhaps we could go out and go get some tacos, go on a taco run, or maybe perhaps we could go get some pizza. Let's do a pizza run together. Let's go down to Mi Amore's Pizza, play some video games, get a big old combo pizza, and just hang out. Or we could get some milkshakes or some smoothies. Yeah, that sounds really amazing. There's even a Blenders in the Grass smoothie shop. Really, it's really just pretty much just between our two homes over there next to Albertsons. I'd totally be up to getting some smoothies. And in fact, lately I've kind of been having a hankering for eating icy slushies. Oh yeah. I got about a week ago, I was walking around my neighborhood doing Wizards United. Wizards United is the Harry Potter smartphone game, the virtual reality game that is very much like Pokemon Go. I was walking all around my neighborhood and I was walking next to a 7-Eleven and I went inside and I purchased a blue raspberry icy, and it was pretty good. And now I want to try the cherry flavor. It's been so long since I've had a cherry icy, and I think one thing that we could do that could be a lot of fun is that I could come over to your place and then we could just walk to the nearest corner gas station, and get some icy smoothies. So if you're interested in that, send me a text or something like that, and we could do something like that. That sounds like fun. Another thing that sounds like fun is maybe like running around the lower loop at La Prisma Mission. I mean, I'm bursting at the seams with ideas. Anyway, I know that's your dad. He's got all kinds of ideas. Anyway, if there's anything that you'd like to implement, anything you'd like to do, anything that you think would be fun, I think that would probably be the main criteria. If it's something that you would enjoy, honestly enjoy, then I'm up for it too. And if you have your doubts, that's okay. We won't do it. But if there is anything that you think you might want to do, even in passing, even have like a mild appreciation for perhaps doing something like that, like playing frisbee or something like that, or playing volleyball, let me know. Hit me up, and we can go check it out. We could do something like that. I know I'd be into it. So so I'm gonna go and go on a road trip today, and I'm probably I'm basically going to San Jose, but there are a lot of cities around that area. Basically, it's Silicon Valley. Like there's Mountain View nearby, and Mountain View's got things like the Google headquarters, and they've got what else? They've got Ames Research Center, which is a NASA center. I've been thinking about possibly going there and maybe checking out I think hopefully they've got a visitor center I can go check out there. I don't know. There might be other things that I could visit along the way. I've been thinking about going to the John Steinbeck Museum, which is in Salinas, California. That would be neat. It's been a long time though since I've read a John Steinbeck novel. I could do all kinds of things. I could go to the aquarium in Monterey. I don't know. I could go to Big Sur. I could go to Esalen. That's something I hadn't even considered doing. I could go to San Francisco. I mean, there's so many things to do. I don't know. Here's the thing about the world. It's a big place. And there are a lot of people in it. And I don't know. There's so many opportunities to sort of explore and express yourself. And I don't know. I think mostly I'm just looking forward to having interesting conversations with people and meeting new people while I'm away. Who knows what people I'll meet up with? One of the main reasons I like meeting up with people is that, well, first of all, people are awesome. And quite often I end up learning something from them. Pretty much everyone I meet, I learn something from. Maybe it's a turn of phrase, or it's a certain kind of behavior, like a physical behavior, like the way a person walks or the way a person talks, or maybe the way a person drives, or who knows what. Quite often people are interested in subjects that I've never heard about before. They'll tell me about websites that they've enjoyed visiting or TV shows that they like. Maybe they'll tell me about books or audiobooks, comic books. I don't know. There's so much stuff out there to explore and learn about. Speaking of comic books, I was considering the idea that you might possibly be into manga comic books. Is this true for you or not so much? I know there's really just a select number of people who are interested in that. It's sort of like a niche interest. But if you have an interest in that manga stuff, I think I've read like one or two manga graphic novels. Not like all the volumes, but like a single novel or a single book. Um, I can tell you that it wasn't something that I was really drawn towards. If I'm drawn towards anything, it's like real comic books, like the DC and Marvel genre. Not that manga is not real comic books, because they certainly are, and they are an admirable piece of work. It's just thing is, I think I appreciate this superheroes like in the Marvel and DC universe a lot. I used to collect comic books when I was a kid, and I would collect comics like Daredevil and Aquaman and X-Men. I collected Thor comics for a little while, and I collected Balder the Brave. Balder's is a key character in Norse mythology, and I used to collect Sectars, which is about these alien insects. I collected a lot of comic books. I did I mention that I collected X-Men for a little while? I might have. And then there's another comic book that I collected for a little while called Groo, Groo. And Groo, the point behind this comic was that Groo was a caveman. I know. He was a caveman. This is sort of a humorous comic. And I'm trying to remember what the larger context of Gru was. He was like a caveman or something. It was a long time ago. This is an old comic I'm talking about, an old and forgotten comic book. I don't know if Gru really grew legs, so to speak, and became more of a media icon. I don't think he did. So let's see, what other comic books did I collect? Well, I think that pretty much covers it all. I'm sure I probably collected one or two others. Like I collected the Aquaman series for a while. I might have mentioned that. Um, I collected Captain America for a little while. What else? There was a comic called Firebrand. Oh, and then there was Booster Gold. I don't know if you remember that. Booster Gold was another comic book. When I was a kid, I used to collect comic books and I used to play video games. Fact is, though, I played a lot more video games than I spent time with comic books. For me, I'll just admit it. Video games were what my life was about. And so my life was about all the classic video games. And I have really deep, abiding, pleasant memories of playing video games when I was a kid. I remember Lunar Lander. Oh, man. These are amazing video games. Now, of course, I have a belief that, the video games of today are a lot more spellbinding than they were back then. I mean, you just can't compare a video game like Excite Bike with, I don't know, Final Fantasy that's available, say, on the Xbox 360 or whatever. I mean, or I've actually never played Grand Theft Auto, but I hear good things about it. I don't know. But see, here's the facts. I don't play video games anymore. It's been a long time since I've played them. Now, if I do play video games, what I tend to play are older video games like Miss Pac-Man and Galaxian and Space Invaders and Asteroids, Centipede, Joust. I like playing the older video games, the classic ones. But you know what? Last time I visited New Mexico, I went to my dad's place. My brother Enrico's living there now, and he's got a PlayStation 4, and I had the opportunity to play Assassin's Creed. That was cool. I can I could really see how people could really get into that. And I had a good time playing Assassin's Creed. I thought it was really good. This was the version of it. There's a lot of versions of Assassin's Creed. This is the version that had to do with him going to Egypt, and I spent a lot of time exploring the pyramids and climbing the pyramids and hanging out with the other the other pyramid builders. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think I could really probably get into it now. But there's a problem too. These video games today are so immersive and so addictive that I'm a little bit concerned, that I would be concerned about getting too involved in the video games. The fact is, look, the digital world is just so amazing that I have a hard time pulling away. Like, I love my smartphone and I get drawn to it all the time, doing things like social media. And at least social media has some benefit, right? I can coordinate with my friends and just, be social that way. So I think, but when if I'm playing like a video game on the PlayStation 4, I have a feeling that that's less socially exercising. And I'd like there to be some merit. I'd like there to be some virtue that I can work on that video games would help me with. Maybe there is like self-control or cat-like reflexes, or maybe patience, or maybe the virtue of persistence, or maybe it's just fun. Just having fun is virtuous behavior in my own view. So long as it doesn't hurt anybody. And video games is almost the definition of not hurting anybody, except for perhaps yourself. But so I could see a benefit there. And maybe the fact is, I just since it's been so long since I've really played video games, that maybe I've just sort of forgotten what the virtues of playing video games are, what kind of new skills and insights I can sort of mine and discover by playing video games. I don't know. But then there's another part of me that looks at video games and says, man, playing a video game just doesn't provide a lot of like benefits, secondary benefits. Like, there's the primary benefit of like just doing something that you enjoy, which I get. That's important. That's a big part of self-care. But there's also a part of living that is like, involves movement. It involves socializing. Life, first of all, life is movement. Life is about doing things. And I have a suspicion that if I spend a lot of time playing video games, that I don't know. I think it could be a dangerous path to go down. Yeah. So, I mean, I see it as an amazing opportunity to learn lots of things and to have a lot of fun and do enjoyable things. But at the same time, I recognize that I got to walk out that door. That walking out my bedroom door is a big part of what it is to be alive. And even if I'm staying at home, I think it's really important for me to like be doing dishes or doing my laundry or cleaning my floors or just organizing a cabinet or whatever. To me, that represents huge virtue, where I'm actually making progress toward my goals. Whereas sitting down in front of a TV screen or a like a video game console, I think while it is pleasurable, I think that it has the potential to be very pernicious. Yeah. The same is true with social media. It's really enjoyable, but I think it has the potential to be pretty pernicious. You gotta live your life outside of the digital domain. And the more you live of your life outside of the digital domain, if you could live a good 80-90% of your life outside the digital domain, that would be great. It's fine to do social media for maybe 10% of your time or 15% of your time. That's great. But you can overdo it. Let me tell you, that digital world is deep. It's like a rabbit hole. And I don't know. I hear about the hikikomori people, the what do they call it? The grass eating men of Japan. These are people who basically stay in their rooms all day long. And they have problems. They have problems with their social circles. They have problems getting out after a while. They don't keep themselves hygienically in good shape, and it's got to be bad for their bodies too. All this time spent indoors and out of sunlight. You just got to go out there and explore the world sometimes. And I know the digital domain, the digital world is a powerful draw. I love it for its safety and how I can learn. I love learning. For me, learning new things and having creative ideas just show up. That's a big part of where I get my enjoyment in life. Novelty. And video games bring that novelty in force. And I love it. But I don't know. There's something to say about real life too, at least now. In the whole scheme of things, in terms of our human civilization, we are in a transition period where we are sort of moving from living mostly in a concrete world to living in a digital world, right? From going from brick and mortar to going electronic. And we are in a transition period now. Now, there might be a time in the future, like 20, 30 years in the future, where we are fully integrated with the digital world, where there's like mind, or what I'd call like brain-computer communication that's direct. And I'm pretty sure we'll have that eventually. Maybe even in 20 years we'll have that. And the integration between biological systems and electrical systems will be complete. But we're not there yet. In fact, we're actually somewhat far away from it, I think, from sort of like a non-contradictory integration. We'll get there eventually. But I think pretty much we live in a concrete world right now. I mean, more than ever before, we're living in a digital world, and it's amazing, and I'm loving every minute of it. But it's a little bit too early to jump in the pool. Yeah. That's not to say that I'm not going to be enjoying as much of the digital world as I can. In fact, recently, I've had this idea that I want to buy a 360-degree camera. A 360 camera. This is a camera with like a bubble eye lens, and it allows you to take photographs of everything around you at the same time. Essentially, it's a movie that takes an image 360 degrees around the lens, which is everywhere. And I'm kind of excited about this technology. These 360 cameras, they seem to be amazing. And I'm kind of like a budding photographer, and I'm kind of interested in ways that I can express myself artistically using the 360-degree camera. I have a feeling that maybe I could use the 360-degree camera to communicate with you in a more full way that's more appealing and enjoyable for both of us, and has a lot of flexibility. So anyway, that's a thought I've been having recently. I almost bought a 360-degree camera last week because I was thinking that it could be fun for me to go on this vacation to Santa Cruz and bring you along with me through using the 360-degree camera technology. But I decided not to do it. I figured that I would just integrate my existing camera, which is a mirrorless Canon M50 camera, with my iPod Pro, and I would just do the best I can to create movies and slideshows using that camera and my smartphone and videos, and stitching all those together and sort of presenting that material to you. Instead of getting the 360-degree camera. I don't know. It's a choice. Maybe I'll get that 360-degree camera later on this summer. I don't know. Regrettably, since I'm going to be like going on this road trip, I'm going to be missing a few of my Allen Hancock College summer classes. I know, such a drag. I'm going to be missing 3 of my sewing classes. It's kind of a drag. It's a quilting class that I'm taking, and I'm really loving my instructor. She's totally enthusiastic about making these designs, and she's really into like hand stitching everything. And I mean, she is a force of nature, and I feel really privileged to be around people who are as excited as they are about putting these fabrics together. And I look forward to improving my skill on the sewing machine and becoming better and better, a better and better sewist, using mechanical sewing machine methods, and even hand sewing methods like using the whip stitch. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to going on this road trip, and I want you to know that you are going to be at the forefront of my mind every step of the way, and that you will be in my thoughts, and that I want you to know that I value you, and that what you think is important to me. And anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week, although I think today is Sunday. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of the summer. Yeah. I wonder if you've already selected your classes for your sophomore year at Cabrillo High School. If so, I would be really curious to know what classes you're taking, what electives you're choosing in particular. And I've actually been considering possibly taking an algebra class at Allen Hancock College next semester. I was thinking that I would take that class so that I could get more familiar with Mathematica, which is a software package that I have an interest in. I think it was yesterday or the day before, I downloaded the Mathematica iOS app, and it's pretty amazing. What those folks at Mathematica or at Wolfram have done is just amazing. And Mathematica has been around since even when I was in college. So they've been around for like good 20, 30 years already. And I can't believe they're still at it, making their software even better. That's amazing what it does. There's also another thing that I'm really excited about doing on my trip, and that is looking up into the sky. I'm going to be camping a little bit, and I'm going to be in a place. I checked like the astrophotography websites, and they've identified that I'm going to be camping in a place with very low light pollution. So one of the things that I hope to do, I'm taking my iPad Pro. One of the things I hope to do is look at the stars and the constellations and learn about them more, using my iPad Pro and the iOS apps that relate to space and exploring the sky, the nighttime sky. So pretty exciting stuff. I definitely hope to learn more about the nighttime sky. I know that Suzanne Shank and I are actually both really interested in astrophotography. These are these photographs where you can see the Milky Way sort of dipping over the horizon. And I have a camera that has the ability to make those kind of photographs. So what that means is that I have a shutter speed that can be really low. Like, I mean, where I can keep that shutter open for like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. And I also have a tripod so that I can reduce shutter, like, shaking and then blurriness. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to get into astrophotography. Me and Suzanne Shank, I think we're kind of interested in that. So that's cool. You know, one of the really amazing things about life is that there is so much to explore. I remember I when I was in college, did a work study to make money for school, and I worked in the library system mostly. I worked at Zimmerman Library. They've got 1.2 million volumes, or at least they did back then when I went to college. And I was just blown away by how many good books there were out there. And that's the thing about life is that there is just more and more to learn. I mean, it's almost like unending, amazing ideas. I mean, unending novelty out in the world. There's unending novelty when it comes to beauty and in regards to landscapes. We got forests and we've got different skyscapes, right? Constellations. Science is budding all over the place in almost every area of learning, in almost every area of, I mean, Emily, one of the things I know about you is that you're curious, that you have a really strong sense of wonder. And that is a trait, a character trait that I think that is a significant personality strength for you. And it just so happens that I happen to have the same personality strength. I am filled with wonder and awe about this universe. And I'm so pleased to be on this journey with you as we discover more about it every day. And I don't know. What could make me more happy than being on this journey of learning and discovery with my only daughter? It makes me happy to know that. Anyway, Em, I hope you have an amazing day today. I'm going to sign off and wrap this up. I am going to continue to video blog on a daily basis, hopefully. But I might not be able to do it given my schedule over the next couple weeks. Anyway, I do want you to know that I think about you whether or not I video blog, and I'm hoping that you are having a life that is as amazing as I am. Anyway, talk to you later. I love you. Peace out.